And welcome back. This is Michael Gutekunst. He died 13 years ago from complications due to type 1 diabetes. His twin sister is now fighting to keep his memory alive. And to help make that happen, she's asked for help from family and friends.
Yeah, Maria Carrera is Michael's sister. She's also the organizer of an event called Racers Fuel the Cure. She is here along with Sandy Lang of the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation. Nice to have both of you.
Hi, ladies. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Thank you so much. You know, Maria, diabetes is such a common disease, type 2, more so it seems like than type 1. But your brother died of complications of this disease. Tell us a little bit about his story and what happened.
Yeah, when we were 24, he was diagnosed. He had the typical symptoms where he was thirsty all the time, the frequent urination, rapid weight loss. When he went in, his blood count, or his sugar count was like way in the 500s, and you really want it to be closer to around 110.
Wow. So like almost 5 times what a normal number is.
Yeah. And then he also had what I've heard referred to as brittle diabetes, so he had a really hard time keeping it under control. So he would have seizures. One time he dislocated his shoulder. When he was sleeping several times, he would bite his tongue, he'd have a seizure, and he had a rough time of it. And then finally, actually the day before our birthday, he went into a diabetic coma in the night and passed away.
The day before your birthday. You know, siblings very often are close, but from what I understand, it's different when you're somebody's twin. Did you feel a special connection with him being a twin?
Yes, I always had a special connection, but I think if I would say that diabetes didn't impact our relationship, I would be lying, because the way he handled it, I was always like, I have all these questions and I wanted to know, and he, like many people who have type 1 diabetes, they kind of don't want to be different, and so they don't want people to know about it. And so for a while it kind of tore us apart, and then you know, brought us back together again. So the last year we were back to being close again.
Yeah. And why did you decide to create this event? Was it to honor him, to help others, kind of a combination of everything?
It's really a combination. My father's getting up in age, and I really wanted to have a benefit while he was still alive. And so last year I decided I needed a theme, and so although my brother was not involved in racing, my husband was, and that's how I got connected. And we have a lot of friends, and I have a good friend who is a race car driver that has type 1, and he had a JDRF sticker on his car. That's how I met him. Right, it was like about 3 years after my brother had passed, and so he said, when you want to have it, let me know. And I was working out, I had my headphones on, and up Tony Stewart and Lewis Hamilton were promoting something. I had no idea what, and I thought, I could do it to racers. And so then just sitting on the bike, it was Racers Fuel the Cure. And so I emailed my friend Dave, and I said, Dave, I've got my angle. And he wrote all this stuff out. He's like, well, we can do this, we can do that. And then it was, instead of I doing this, it was we. And so then my older brother joined in, and then we have a few other of my close friends that are on the committee that help organize it.
That's really nice to have an event like this. The JDRF, what do you do, and how common is type 1 diabetes?
What do I do personally? I'm the outreach manager at the chapter, the Southeastern Wisconsin chapter. And you know, there's like 26 million Americans that have diabetes, about 3 million with type 1. So it is, you know, it's a common disease, as you've mentioned.
You don't often hear stories about people dying of complications of the disease, but the reality is that it can be quite serious, obviously.
Type 1 is different, definitely, than type 2. Type 1 actually is an autoimmune system disease where your pancreas doesn't produce a hormone called insulin. And insulin is critical to life support. You know, when we eat anything, food then is turned into energy, and insulin is a key factor in that. So if we don't have that, the sugar keeps building up in our body and erodes every organ. That's why really somebody with type 1, insulin is a life support, and you know, you have to get it through shots or through a pump, but you definitely need insulin to live with type 1. Type 2 is different. It's a metabolic disorder, and typically it arises in older adults. It used to be called adult onset, but now we've seen such a rise in adolescence. It's just incredible. So that's why it's type 2 and type 1.
And we know type 1 oftentimes is the autoimmune or genetic. Type 2 oftentimes brought on by childhood obesity or other issues like that. So I think it's important that people work towards finding a cure, because I know that there's a lot of research being done to help potentially fight and cure type 1 diabetes. So we want to make sure everybody has the information for your wonderful benefit so they can take part. Again, it's racersfuelthecure.com is the website. It's going on February 9th, which is a Saturday at the Lakefront Brewery. It's a lot of fun. That's where you can go to the website to find out more about the event and to take part in it as well. And here's more information about JDRF, the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. It's jdrf.org/SEWI, or the phone number is 414-453-4673 for more information. Thanks for being here, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Nice to have both of you.